I can't believe this is happening, but I just packed my first bag for the Lady Secrets tour. We have 15 dates starting in Chicago on September 13th, which is so soon. We just saw Nick Viall today. He's going to be our special guest in Chicago, and we also have more guests being announced, but Chicago, Philly, Boston, New York City, Columbus, Ohio. You are up first. We are so excited. Every single ticket comes with a signed copy of Lady Secrets. Please head over to ladygang.com/tour. Please purchase your ticket as soon as possible. It's going to help us figure out how many books to get and all of these things. And we're just so honored and like really pumped to spend time with you. We have such a great show planned. I got to be honest, it's the best show we've ever done. So we'll see you on tour, theladygang.com/tour. Get your tickets now. I know a few of the cities are really close to selling out, so I don't want you to miss out. And we'll see you there. This episode of Lady Gang is brought to you by the new 2023 Hyundai Palisade. When it comes to your journey, Hyundai is thinking of every mile. It's your journey. Learn more at HyundaiUSA.com.
Well, what is this?
Welcome to the Lady Gang.
That's amazing. Say that again.
The Lady Gang.
Things are about to change around here.
Each week we catch up with Hollywood's hottest girl posse. Keltie Knight, Becca Tobin, and Jac Vanek.
Hello, and welcome to the Lady Gang. This is a voice you don't recognize. Becca is having a day with baby Ford today, and so we have a special, not a fill-in because he's our celebrity person guest, but we're allowing Nick, our guest, to be here with us from the top of the show, which we normally would not. But
Amazing.
We are just so special.
We need someone extra special to fill that void of Becca. And the fact that we started this show, Nick came on. I got to start here. What a guy. He has a new book all about dating. Don't text your ex happy birthday. And we're going to get into that. But he started the podcast. Nick's never been late in his life. He's the most on time person. I was like, Jack, you better be on time because Nick's always on time. Don't show up 5 minutes late. This is Nick. And so we're sitting here. It's 9:02. Nick's not here. And I'm like, wow, something must be going wrong. He's canceling. And he got on and he said, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to make my pancakes for my girlfriend for her birthday.
That is so adorable.
Yeah, I know. I'm the greatest.
Not to toot my own horn or anything. I can't believe that you agreed to do a podcast.
It was right after I gave her Prada purse, and then a card that didn't really have a note. It just had 100 reasons why I loved her.
This is a great birthday. What's the purse like? Tell us more about the purse.
Yeah, did she ask for this? Did you just
go or
you guessed?
We were in London.
Oh.
And we went into Prada, and she looked at this particular purse. She likes purses. That's like her thing.
Yeah.
To like collect.
Everyone does.
I guess, right? I don't know. Like I feel like ladies are either really into purses or shoes. So often both, but like I tend to find that one prefers more than the other. Like men are into watches and or like cars or something, but she's a purse girl. So when in doubt, get a nice purse.
Prada it out. That's what I say.
When in doubt, Prada it out. That's it. You know what? That is the perfect birthday gift.
Yeah, perfect.
Because you have expensive and then you have sentimental.
Yep.
Like that is truly the best thing that a woman can get from her partner.
I hope she's happy. I think she is.
She's not happy because you're working now. It's her birthday and you like went immediately to work and had things scheduled, but we have a book to sell. You know what I mean? Like the publicity never stops.
How do you think we got that purse?
Exactly. You want that Prada bag? You got to work, honey. So enjoy your pancakes. Well, we're going to start off with a little section of our podcast we call Good Week, Bad Week. And we're going to start, Nick, and then we're going to ask you your good week and bad week. So let's get into it. It's time for
Good Week.
Yes, it is.
Bad Week. Oh, no.
You want to go, Jack?
Sure. I'll start off. So my good week is Nick had us on his podcast last week. We're doing like a little bit of a podcast swap and we had such a good time with you, by the way. But one of the things that I love that you do, and I forget the name of the segment, but it's when your listeners call in.
Ask Nick.
But isn't it called like
text with your ex or something?
Well, yeah, sorry. We have a lot of call-in segments, but like we have the Ask Nick, which is this people on Monday who call in kind of like long form, like I'm in a situationship or I've been dealing with this issue it's usually an extended period of time. And then on Going Deeper, which you ladies were so graciously willing to come on. Going Deeper is
what we're on.
We have Texting Office Hours, which is basically we find that, when you're trying to shoot your shot, or you're in the middle of like maybe an argument with a friend, that sometimes you can need the assist of, people who, aren't emotionally involved in the situation and can offer some, helpful texting notes. So so we have a pretty good track record. Yeah.
It was, my good week is that it was such a fun thing to be a part of. Like, obviously we do LadyGang. We have Ask the LadyGang, kind of the same thing, but it's people emailing in questions. It's not
this is way better. Let's be honest.
It was
better than our show.
So fun. It was so like fun to like brainstorm and go back and forth with the person and ask them other questions.
Yeah.
And I just had such a good time, and I love that segment. And I think that maybe we should steal it for LadyGang.
Great. Perfect. Inspired by Nick. We need our Prada purses.
Would you be mad? Not the same thing, but like, would you take offense if we adopted that idea?
Texting office hours times LadyGang.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
Yeah. I mean, we had a podcast first, so technically you stole podcasting from us.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think in podcasting, I don't know how many original ideas are out there.
None at this point. Yeah.
Texting office hours was an idea that was spawned from Allie and Amanda, who are my kind of, I guess, I don't know what I keep calling them my assistants, but they're on the show now. They're like my social media team. They're my sidekicks, if you will. And they came up with it. And people seem to really like it. We also have done mediation in the past, which people seem to really like, where couples call in and we mediate fights. The only problem is you have to like book two people at the same time. Scheduling is tough. And
then by the time the fight's over.
Sometimes, or usually not, but the men are also like a little reluctant. I will say we have an excellent track record of bringing people together, because it's really
and you were telling us like at the end after we like finished recording that you've gotten some very heartfelt emails from people that you've like
saved their relationships.
I wouldn't know if I've saved any relationships. I probably truth is I've probably broken up more relationships than I saved.
That needed to be though.
But I am very appreciative of my audience and the feedback we often receive of just kind of people telling their stories about how listening to my show has kind of reshaped how they go about dating, how they perceive themselves, how they kind of hold themselves to a higher standard and their character. It's, when I started this show, it was, like, I don't know how you ladies were, but it's like, I feel like I could be good at this podcast thing. And I knew I was always the friend who was good at giving, advice to friends. And, I knew that my audience might find it entertaining. It kind of, the questions with Nick, people seem to like, but at first it was just like, early on, you start getting, some critiques and you're just like, I'm like, you have expectations of me? like,
I thought I was just doing this shit for fun.
I'm Nick from The Bachelor. It really felt, it obviously feels good to hear their stories and get stopped on the street and just, from a lot, whether it's men or women, again, the dating world is challenging out there. I keep saying, I think people are really struggling because the game has completely changed. It's not remotely the same as it was, even 10 years ago. And yet how our expectations of what we want and how we want to feel and kind of the beats of falling in love and meeting someone to, being in a relationship, our expectations are still kind of antiquated to like how they were in 1950. And I think we are kind of coming up against our expectations and just the reality of how the dating landscape is. And I think we're just going to have to reshape our perspective and our focus. And it's nice to hear, especially, the women who listen to the show, just how they feel a little bit more confident in themselves and just a little less discouraged and a little bit more, just a belief in that, they put themselves first. So when that happens, things tend to work out as long as they, are a little patient, because things we never get what we want when we want it. And that can be a challenge, especially when it comes to our love lives. But so that's pretty rewarding. And, in addition to having fun on the show, it's nice to feel like you're actually impacting a few people and not just like, slinging out podcast shows.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Greg.
Yeah,
Keltie,
get yourself a
Jesus.
Greg.
No, I love it. And I can't wait. And I need updates on the people that we talk to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already invested. So I love that.
What's your good week?
That's my good week.
Okay, what's your bad week?
My bad week is, Nick, are you watching The Bachelor this season? The Bachelorette?
I am, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My bad week is The Bachelorette because
tell all. What are you going to do? It's wasn't much to tell. The guys pretty much got along all season. All of the drama came from Rachel. So
it's just like very, I don't know if the two Bachelorette thing was really working for me. I don't know who anybody fucking is.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah. I don't think you can do two leads anymore.
No.
Right.
There's just not enough time.
Exactly. There's just not enough time. I get why they casted them. They both were great choices. They obviously had both compelling stories with, how Clayton handled things at the end of the season. But we don't know any of these guys. We don't know any of these relationships. We're not rooting for any of these relationships. We're not invested in any of these relationships. I hope that changes as the next few weeks unfold.
Doubt it.
It's I said this would happen, I'm not, Bachelor Nostradamus here, but I anticipated this just because I know how limited time is in that world when you have a single lead and just how unfamiliar we are with many of the cast when there's a single lead and now you throw two in the mix. This was inevitable. So
yeah,
I don't see them doing it anytime soon. I know people listen, I would love to see two bachelors as much as anyone else just to, see them pitted against each other. And I don't blame really the show. It was inevitable that when you have two people, the whole show is based off of having a singular focus, right? That is the premise of the show, to have one focus and have a bunch of people and then have a bunch of people obsess over that one focus because, well, there's one, and then when you add one more and when you double the focus, there's going to be natural competition. There's no way to avoid it. And so would I like to see two men have to face that dilemma? Of course, I would. Absolutely.
I would.
But don't you think it should just be a spinoff? Like, why change? I mean, I gave up on Bachelor a few years ago. I was really into it and then they lost me. But it's like, why not just do like RuPaul's Drag Race has 5 different versions, right?
Yeah.
They have All Stars and then they have All Stars All Winners and then they have, the celebrity one. It's just do Bachelor 2-on-2. And
Maybe.
then it's not good.
Bachelor. It's just not good. It's not worth doing again. To your point, I don't think that they're ever going to do it again because I feel like it kind of flopped.
Oh. Okay, well, never mind.
But I mean, Bachelor in Paradise is the only thing that's ever worth
Saving
watching anymore. But
Bachelor in Paradise is a dream. Although Keltie, the landscape of media is changing. It'll be interesting. Dance with the Stars is on Disney Plus now. How long will Bachelor be on network television? Right. I do think it's also probably what's keeping ABC on television. It's generally inexpensive to produce.
Sure.
It's a lot of people still watch it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people are watching media differently. So the ratings of Bachelor have gone down like everything else on network television has gone down, but it still generally wins the night. And so until that stops happening, I think we're going to see that. But if they do, switch to some sort of streaming platform, maybe I could see some spinoffs and things like that. So who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, I'll go next. Bad week. I used to be super bougie when I was working in media, and my contract was first class flights everywhere with a car when you land and first class hotels. And I talked about that a lot on the podcast. I was like, what is it like in Coach? I really forgot what it's like to be a normie, and it wasn't on my own dime. So let's be very clear there. Someone else is paying for it. And I was like, yes, I am a first class person, first class. I'm this person. And now since I've left that job and have to pay for my own flights, I have sadly not maintain that level of success.
Shocking.
And I have gone back to being a basic, 19A on a Dreamliner will get you the exit row seat that's a window that doesn't have a seat in front of you. Like I'm an expert at finding.
What is your what standards do you have now? Because I'm like you, I don't know. I'm assuming you're back and forth now, right? I'm assuming you only pop for first class on like longer flights.
Well, this is my story. Yes. So last week we had a big press day here for our new book. And then I flew on the red eye and went right to work for another deal that I had. And so I didn't get to sleep, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this red eye. And like, wow, this is like old Keltie, old hustle. You know what? I got to spring for that business class seat, or else I'm just going to be wrecked the next morning. Like this, a red eye. So out of my own dollar pocket, my own Prada purse that was not purchased, it went into this airline. I bought the ticket, and I was like, okay, it's fine. You know what, Keltie, do your thing. I get on the plane. They come over to my seat and let me know that I am sitting in the only seat on the airplane that does not recline. It's broken. I paid for nothing. I did not sleep. It was like, what? No. Where's the mechanic?
Did they reimburse you at all?
No. They were like, sorry, yeah.
For a first class seat?
It was for business. I mean, I should call. And that's the thing. This is how they get you with when things don't work in business class. The business people are so busy that it's like, yes, I want you to give me 100,000 airline points or something because I didn't get to lay back.
Yeah.
But like that is going to take me 4 hours on the phone. You know how these waits are.
Yeah.
With airlines. And it's like, I guess I'm not doing that. So anyway, it sucked. I'm in coach forever. I'm Southwest. Give me a Spirit. Give me a Ryanair. You know what I mean?
I don't mind Southwest on certain flights.
Southwest are good for like hopper flights.
Yeah, and then you pay like that extra $40 for the early bird special, and you get in like A1 or
and you're
A5, and you're in the front row. It's totally fine. I didn't fly first class ever in my life until I was the Bachelor. So It's really hard to go backwards, though, Nick. It's hard to go back, but I'm able to. Like, for me, I'm not a big drinker,
Right.
So like, and I like. Just like general policy.
You're so tall. How do you fit in the seat?
Well, it's fine. I will get exit row or something like that, but I'm not a big drinker. And I like just general rule of thumb in my life is I refuse to eat airplane food. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's first class. Like that's just not what I'm putting in my body. Yeah. And so, I'm not drinking, I'm not eating. So like first class is all about, relaxation.
How big the seat is. Yeah.
Exactly. So if there's a bed on the plane, I'm down. But if there's no bed, like I don't fly first class usually to like Chicago unless someone else is paying for it. Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
And because it's a 4-hour flight, and the difference between first class is like
nothing really because it's just the seat sitting.
Yeah, so like you instead of paying for the first class, you get an exit row, and it's just like slightly annoying for 4 hours. And like,
you know what? We're regular people. We're still related.
Yeah, I'm down with the people, but New York or international, 100%.
Yeah.
The experience is wonderful. The bed, lie down. It's a vibe.
Oh my God. When you're on an airplane, they give you a pajama. Oh, and then I'm thinking
I've never been offered a pajama.
I know. And then I thought about the Anna Wintour book when she even on like a regular flight to New York, if it's overnight, she like changes into a silk pajama and then goes sits in first class. Anyway, live your life. We are excited about you coming to Chicago, and we did out of the LadyGang purse. I don't know if Jack knows this, fly you business. I have first class, but you're a first class guy, and also your talent to us, and you're doing us a huge solid by coming out to Chicago and launching the Lady Secrets tour with us on September 13th. So we're so excited. Okay, here's my bad week. So. Nick, I am this is a lesson for you. Not that you need it because you made pancakes for your girlfriend this morning and got her Prada purse, but for all men out there and ladies, a few weeks ago on the podcast, I was talking about how I went to this wedding. I wore my polka dot gown. I tried really hard to be sexy and hot. And then I was all dressed up. Chris said nothing to me the whole night about being beautiful. The next morning, I get up, I have my old hair in a ponytail, a fresh face, and like some sweatpants. And he goes, "This is my favorite Keltie." And I was so pissed off because I was like, God damn it, I worked so hard. So I went to another wedding last weekend. I tried less hard. I barely did a lash, a very light makeup, a tiny curl. I wore a black normal ass dress. Like I did not try to be whatever I thought I was trying to be. And I'm like, see, don't you think? And I'm trying to put the dress on in the room. I don't know how is the Love Shack fancy dress with like the big bow on the bum. I got caught in this dress, you guys, trying to get into it. Like, not just, oh my God, I got caught in the dress. Like, I was fucking stuck. Like, we were about to call 911 and like go get the scissor, and I had nothing to wear. Like, somehow I got my arm, and then he's zipping me. And then Chris is like, can you imagine anything less attractive than the girl who's trying to be hot? And then like the bum is like squeezing out this side, and like the arm bottom is like, and I'm like, no, but maybe if I just like, it's like a sausage. Like I'm just trying so hard to stay hot, and it backfires at every second. Anyway, note to you and all your listeners. When your girl gets dressed up, even if you hate her dress, even if you hate a lime green dress and the little kitten heel sandal that we're all wearing these days, still tell them they're hot.
Yeah, I've learned that lesson the hard way a few times.
What are your guys' love language?
Mine's I give love through acts of service for sure. And I also I like to receive love through I think words of affirmation, quality time is a fairly decent mix. Natalie's is all of them.
I think most women's are all
she'll
of that.
receive love however you want to give it.
I love that.
Yeah. She's definitely a fan of gifts. I find that most women seem to be.
You did a great job.
She's definitely a physical touch person. Quality time, words of affirmation. Yeah, they all work on her. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's also she's a very good gift giver, and yeah, I think she gives and loves the same.
You want to talk about gift givers?
Yeah,
Jack and Jerry.
I'm a great gift giver.
I'm not like.
But that was a great gift. What you did today is
gift.
Truly like men, or not that any men listen to our podcast, but like
women, tell your man to listen to Nick
and do that exact gift.
Natalie sets me up for success. You know what I'm saying? Like I do my part, which is just slightly pay attention and listen and I do my part. I'm not the best gift giver. It's not my love language. I've never been big on receiving gifts. I don't feel loved by it. I'm the skeptic. It's just like, why you got to buy me? Why you got to buy my love?
Yeah, you're like, what strings are attached to this gift? What are you like trying to like get out of the doghouse for?
100%. I have to like give it over that. Maybe that's a me problem. I don't know what attachment style that means about myself, or what trauma.
You don't want to owe anything to anyone.
I always think that anytime I see anybody posting flowers on social media, I was like, oh, what the fuck? How'd you get in trouble?
Ooh, like the no reason flower.
Yeah.
Chris is really good. Chris gets me flowers a lot, just like comes home with them.
So does Jared, but I don't trust anybody else's. I was like,
Natalie always says that the grocery stores make it easy for all men to get your girlfriend or wife or fiance flowers. And I got to say, it is kind of true. Once you pointed that out, every once in a while, I'm like,
it doesn't need to be a Mark's Garden.
Just throw in some girlfriends. Yeah, throw in some. I'm right there. I'm checking out. I'm like, why don't you just throw in some flowers? It's nothing special. They're
It doesn't matter. They're going to die in a day. It's the whole thing.
They're pre-wrap, and it's just.
It's the thought, and I feel like that is like such a small gesture that goes a really long way.
Yep.
But Natalie does a good job, truly, of setting me up for success. I don't know how you ladies are. And other relationships I've had, they haven't. It's been more of like, let's see how much you love me. I'm not gonna like. I'm almost
guess.
gonna like guess. Yeah, or they're kind of cryptic with it. Natalie's pretty. Like, I'm gonna make it simple for you to make me feel loved, and just do that, which I really appreciate. And,
that's smart.
And we tell our girls this all the time. Like,
you got to tell them.
You have to tell them, and you have to be careful with what you say, because I had a similar situation as Natalie's Prada situation many years ago. I was in London for work, and I was Instagramming. I had time off, and I was at Harrods or whatever, and I was Instagramming all the cool shoes in like the expensive cool section. So it's like, love this, love this, love this, and I Instagrammed like a bad Gucci shoe. It was zebra print and it had hair coming off the back.
And he bought it for you?
It was really a cool shoe, but like, I'm not going to wear that shoe. Lady Gaga's going to wear that shoe. And Chris, oh my God, for my birthday or anniversary or something, he like called his friend that worked in London to go get them and ship them. And then when I opened the box and I was like, oh my God. Actually, I don't know if you're listening to this, Chris, but I'm so sorry. I actually hated those shoes. I said they didn't fit, but they did fit. I just hated them. I'm sorry I made you return them. Anyway. Okay, Nick, we need to move on. Your good week, bad week. Do you have a good week that happened and a bad week that happened? Could you share with us?
Well, I'll say my good week is just like not failing today, on my girlfriend's birthday, right? Like, I feel like I did okay. And we had a party for her over the weekend, which was fun. She's happy. I'm happy. She's easy to make happy. I don't want to make it sound like she, like I was terrified.
But still.
That's a win. That's a win. Like, I feel like
once a year at the birthday, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Like you can really f up. And I feel like I didn't so far. So that's a win.
That's cute, Nick. Congrats. I love when you're so sensitive.
Bad week, so far it's been pretty solid.
Dude.
It's like, whatever.
It's like, yeah, it's fine.
Well, the thing is, I'm a natural worrier. I get it from my mom, and I generally like my resting state is anxiety, and so I'm generally worrying about things that could happen. I'm like, I have a bit of paranoia and all that. It comes. I definitely get that all from my mom. The upside of that is most of those things don't happen, which is great, and then it's kind of like, well, great. That didn't happen. So
the worst case scenario didn't happen.
I'm always preparing myself for a worst case scenario, and thankfully that it doesn't often happen. So I don't have a ton of to complain about this week. I mean,
well, I'll tell you your bad week. Your bad week is that Keltie, after she appeared on his podcast, decided to school Nick on.
On what?
And he didn't have a book in his studio.
Oh.
Like, who do you think I am? I'm so sorry, Nick. I literally left, and I worry about everything. And that's my love language, is just like, not that we're in love, obviously, but like my friend language, even like I'm just like texting people all the time inappropriate advice that they did not ask for. And I was like, Nick, I really feel like you need
I don't mind that. I mean, as someone who often gives unsolicited advice, like who am I to be offended by someone trying to help me?
If your publisher doesn't have a hard book, get a dummy. You might not know that your first go around that they can give you a dummy book.
No, this was great advice. I should have it. I lectured him after your note.
Well, then it wasn't a bad week. It was a great week.
I've learned as I've gotten older that in most situations there's several ways to look at things, and some of those things will put you in a bad mood, and some of those things will put you in a good mood. And so I chose to receive your message in a warm way, and thought of as someone who cared about my success. And
yes, I do.
And I appreciated the advice.
All right.
So I would just add that to more of the great week. But yes, I need to, I have a hard time selling myself, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm a natural born salesperson. Like I'm a salesperson by trade, so I don't mind. And I guess I'm good at selling myself on some ways, but I'm self-conscious about,
you're Jack and Becca.
Yeah, to really be like, buy my book, like,
it's uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable.
And also, like, I think it's a decent book, but I've never written a book, so my expectations are very low.
Okay.
It's kind of like when people finish a marathon. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like, I know I finished the marathon, and no matter what my time was, I'm proud that I finished.
Okay.
But I really have no idea, like, if it's a good time or a bad time. I just know I finished, and for that I'm proud. But I think it's good, but I'm so afraid of being delusional, of being like, buy my book, and everyone's like, this is the dumbest shit ever.
No, it's not.
But I think it turned out.
It did. When we come back, we're going to talk about the book, and then we're going to do a LadyGang X Ask Nick extravaganza. Whoop. This episode is brought to you by your pimples. Just kidding. It's brought to you by Starface. Starface is an incredible company. You've seen them all over TikTok and Instagram. Hailey Bieber wears them. They make these adorable little star-shaped pimple patches. But I wanted to let you know that it's an entire full line of skincare essentials, so you can really build out a routine. The Hydro Stars are the ones that you've seen everywhere, are 100% hydrocolloid pimple patches that help reduce inflammation, absorb fluid. That's like when you pull it off in the morning, there's that little white thing, and it's all the stuff that was stuck in your face. It's very fulfilling. And they shrink spots overnight. They have a cleanser that's great. They have a pore strip that is really, really great. Everything at Starface is dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, and vegan. And we just love them. So you can shop the entire Starface collection at starface.world. And for a limited time, Starface is offering all LadyGang listeners 15% off a one-time purchase at checkout with the code LadyGang. Again, that's code LadyGang for 15% off a one-time purchase at starface.world. You can also find Starface products at Target, Walmart, CVS, and Amazon in the US, as well as Boots and Superdrug in the UK. This episode of LadyGang is brought to you by Chime. We love Chime. No monthly fees, no maintenance fees or minimum balance fees. It's how banking should be. When you need access to your money, you can do so fee-free at more than 60,000 in-network ATMs and many locations like most Walgreens, 7-Elevens, and CVS. You can also send money even if someone you know that you want to send money to is not on Chime. It's fee-free for you and no cash-out fees for them. Chime is just a really refreshing way to handle your money. Chime. No monthly fees, no vibe-killing fees. Sign up for Chime checking account. It only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/lady. That's chime.com/lady. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by and debit card issued by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees apply except at MoneyPass ATM in a 7-Eleven location and at any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Other fees such as third-party and cash deposit fees may apply. LadyGang, you know how important it is to love on your guts. We talk about this all the time, that your brain is one brain and your gut and your stomach is your second brain. And I think the scientists call it your microbiome. And that's why we love partnering with Ritual for you. We all take the Ritual vitamins. We've been taking them for a long time. I know a lot of people are like, do you actually take it? Yes, they're right there beside my table at night. And what we love so much is this Synbiotic Plus. This is a really great product. It's 3-in-1 with clinically studied prebiotics, probiotics, and a postbiotic. Bet you didn't even know you needed a postbiotic. 1 daily capsule for a simple, streamlined gut support. Delayed release capsule. It's designed to help reach the colon, not get eaten up in your stomach, and that is the ideal place for probiotics to survive and grow. Synbiotic Plus and Ritual are here to celebrate, not hide your insides. There's no more shame in your gut game. That's why Ritual is offering all LadyGang listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/LadyGang to start Ritual or add Synbiotic Plus to your subscription today.
Now back to the LadyGang.
All right, we're back. Nick has a brand new book, Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. And it is, I got to read an advanced copy of the book. And it's coming out October 4th. You could pre-order wherever you get books. We love when you support an indie bookseller at bookshop.org.
Bookshop.org. Yeah. Thank you for that again, by the way, Keltie.
You're welcome. Nick is also coming to our Chicago show, and he's very tall in person. If you've seen him on TV and you want to meet him, we're doing a really cool thing where he has so graciously given everyone that comes with a ticket the opportunity to do meet and greet and photo. All you're going to have to do is just like scan the scan and pre-order the book. And
I'm coming straight from New York Fashion Week solo. I'm not letting Natalie come to give all my undivided attention to all the LadyGang and
it's going to be great.
Whoever wants to buy my book, I'll hang out with, at the end of the night until you guys kick me out.
And it's our opening night, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal for us because when we had our first book come out, it is a very scary thing. I will say it's a little easier to deal with the pressure of the publishers and the numbers and all these things the second time, because you're like, okay, well you're used to it. But the first time you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like going swimming in the ocean. It's big ocean for the first time. And yes, you are a successful person and you're a media personality, and there's a reason that someone said, yes, I will fund this book for you, but it's still a lot of pressure. And so when our entire book tour and everything got canceled for Act Like a Lady, Nick was so gracious, put on a tuxedo, came and hosted our Zoom party. And we were like in the depths of just despair. I mean, there was so much more heavy stuff going on in the world. But for us, our little world, I was just so upset about it. And so you really lightened our lives and our loads. So I really want to explain to everyone, we love Nick. We're so thankful for his support, and we need to support him on his first book. Next, I'm going to say that I think the book is actually, and I mean this with love, really, really great. There's two kinds of books in the world. There's books that are written because someone cashed a check. And then there's books that are actually have been stewing inside someone and are useful and wonderful. And I feel like when you're a celebrity, especially with the YouTubers and the social media, sometimes it's just okay, and we can do a makeup line and a book. And what's your book about? I don't know. this book is so pointed, Nick. It makes so much sense for who you are, what you've been through, how the public knows you. But it's actually like the kind of book that if I'm not a Bachelor fan, if I know nothing about you, I would want to gift to my friend who sucks at dating and sucks at relationship. Like, do you remember? I remember after Ryan Ross and I broke up, I read that book, Why Men Love Bitches, over and over and over again. And it's like that, but it's like for this new digital age. Sorry, I told everyone about your book without letting you speak. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a wonderful book.
I really appreciate it. You said everything that I would have said.
Did you feel torn between the but like, what do they call, like a biography or whatever?
No, I was going to say
like a memoir of Nick, or
well, I was anti-memoir. Good. I know some of my peers have gone the memoir route.
Yeah.
I haven't been a senator or a president. I don't know how interesting my memoir would be. Although, as far as tell-alls go, I know a lot.
I feel like it would be a juicy tell-all. And
wait, can I ask you a question about the tell-alls and the contracts and stuff? So are you completely I know I'm totally derailing this. Are you completely out of your contract with ABC? Like, could you say anything you wanted?
I honestly don't know the answer to that. Am I completely out of my contract? Yes, I haven't been, and I haven't had any contractual obligations with them or worked for or with them. I don't know, since
3 years,
since I was the Bachelor. So that's like 6 years ago. I believe though, there's probably something in the contract that I signed years ago that says that like I can never talk about like things that people talk about all the time, and people are constantly technically breaking their Bachelor contract.
I just wonder, because anytime everybody is like, I'm going to spill the tea, or once my contract is up, like everybody will know everything. And then like nobody ever says anything worthwhile or that's juicy at all. So I'm like, I
think what they do is they keep you under whatever that gag order NDA contract is for like a year or two. That it's true.
Still nobody ever says anything.
I know, but then by the time the 2 years come up, Nick is an anomaly. Like by the time those 2 years come off, there are 9 more Bachelors in, and the star has started to fade. And so it's like the want for that story has kind of petered off, unless you're a Rachel Lindsay or a Nick that has like continued to have this like really great career where people are very interested in, like, I don't think people care as much.
Also part of it too is I think, I know there's all this like, what goes on in filming, but like everything that goes on has been like talked about already. It's honestly not that juicy. I think the juicy stuff are the relationships that happen outside of the show within Bachelor Nation, and the hookups and some of like the raw dating stories about relationships. I hear a lot. I don't really share any of that stuff, but yeah, that's the juicy stuff of things that went down with breakups and what's happened and things like that. Those are the stuff that often don't make the books that I think people would be most interested in. But this wasn't really for me to do the tell-all thing. When I wrote the book, that's the thing. I wanted to have a chance, at least a chance, to have this book succeed outside of Bachelor Nation. I certainly hope that Bachelor Nation reads it. Anyone who's interested in me, there's certainly some anecdotal stories about my dating life to help make points about the things I'm talking about. But to your point, Keltie, whether you think you suck at dating, or your friend, or maybe you're just like stuck in a rut, or maybe there's just a couple of things that you wonder if you could do better. Everything I talk about in the book is something I've failed doing the first time and got wrong many times before. And I've had a lot of failures when it comes to love and relationships. I feel very fortunate in the position I'm in now, but this book really, more than anything, is about trying to just be happier while you're going through your kind of journey, how to deal with disappointment better, how to change your perspective on any given situation in love and dating, so that you can't avoid things happening, whether it's good or bad, but you definitely can reframe your perspective on a situation, which is always going to make you feel more in control and more empowered. You're going to waste a lot less time on people who don't deserve that energy you've been giving them for so often. You know, breakups, getting over breakups was something I struggled with so bad. And, like one of my favorite chapters, it's the last chapter. It's like how to get over them. And I think it's one of my favorite ones just because it's so hard to get over them. But most of the things that stop me from getting over them were things I was doing. It's not them. It's often you. And that's a tough reality to face. But yeah, it's meant to be an easy, fun read. I think it's pretty funny at times. There's some hard truths in it, but yeah, it's everything I talk about, as I say, whether it's on the show or in the book, it's really easy in theory. Like this shit's not complicated, but it's really hard in practice because once we're emotionally invested in these situations, love makes us stupid, and that's kind of the beauty of love, because it takes all of our brain power and thoughtful things that, and pragmatic approaches, and it all up. And that can be a wonderful thing. But when it doesn't work out, we have to try to not let that kind of stop us from, learning from the experience, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think like Keltie said, if you have a friend or yourself, if you're out there dating, I talk a lot about situationships, which is kind of taking over the dating landscape and how to help yourself out with that. So yeah, my hope is anyone who I promise that anyone who reads the book, there is at least at a minimum one takeaway that will impact your life in a way that you think is worth $24.99.
No, I agree. And sometimes it's like, we can listen to every podcast and our friends can tell us advice, but I'm a book person. So I think reading the book and having this kind of book to I'm such a psycho, but highlight and in passive aggressively Instagram, it's going to be.
You can page through it. You can read it from bookend to bookend, or if you get it and you're dealing with a breakup and you want to start at chapter 10, you can.
Like a little nick in your pocket. Here at LadyGang, since Baby Ford came into our world, we're now thinking about the next generation. We really spent most of our podcast just thinking about ourselves. But now we're like, well, what about the next generation? And that is why we're so excited to partner with Coors Light. Coors has been on a long mission to protect the environment. They introduced the first recyclable aluminum can in the 1950s and later introduced cash for cans, kicking off aluminum recycling in America. Isn't that cool? I did not know that. And now they're removing plastic rings entirely and using a new, more sustainable cardboard wrap pack instead. I love this. So when you're going out and you're deciding what beer you're going to drink, think about taste first. Coors Light, delicious. And then think about what kind of company you want to support. And Coors is one of those companies. Reach for the beer that's made to chill and made for a more sustainable future. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/lady. That's CoorsLight.com/lady. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. LadyGang loves European Wax Center, and that's why we're so excited to be their partner. European Wax Center is my happy place. Honestly, the girls are so friendly. You walk in, you lay down, the comfort wax. It makes it so easy. The appointments are 15 minutes. They also have the best products. The ingrown hair serum you take home is just so, so good. You can wax anything. I wax my toes. They're just an amazing place, and I never walk out not feeling 100%. It's amazing. That is why we love them so much. And you can book online, which makes it so easy for our busy lives. So you book online at EuropeanWaxCenter.com. And by the way, your first wax is free. Book online. Your first wax is free, which is really cool. They just want you to come, enjoy a smooth escape, see how great it is, and it'll be amazing. Self-care is for all seasons. Even though we're going into fall, smooth all over. Back, shoulders, brows, ears, more. European Wax Center. Experience a new state of smooth at European Wax Center. Make a reservation today. Your first wax is free. LadyGang is brought to you by the new 2023 Hyundai Palisade. When it comes to your journey, Hyundai is thinking of every mile. The Palisade offers all the technology, safety features, and comfort a family needs for the journey ahead. And most importantly, they've got Wi-Fi. You stay connected with the Palisade's Wi-Fi hotspot capability. The class-exclusive Safe Exit Assist prevents rear doors from opening if the vehicle detects traffic approaching from behind. And there's an available third-row heated power folding seat, and it comfortably fits up to 8 passengers. That means we could get the entire LadyGang, our spouses, and baby Ford in the Hyundai. We love it. I love a heated seat, and I love a Wi-Fi capability, and you all know that there's a Hyundai parked in my garage right now. I'm a big Hyundai girl. I love my car. I love the service. I love the company. Yay. It's your journey. Learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Safe Exit Assist is not a substitute for driver or passenger attentiveness. Always be aware of your surroundings and attentive of approaching vehicles.
Hey, ladies! Get funky. Ask the Lady Gang.
I have some questions here. These were given to us by our community specifically for you. Some of them are about you, and then some of them are advice. I'm going to start with like kind of a quick whirlwind about you. Nick, your bio says Harry Styles stan. Elaborate.
I saw him in concert. He took my breath away. I think this is something men should own up to a little bit more. Like, women are so much better at fangirling other women and what I'm thinking, and just like appreciating, idiosyncrasies about them and how, sexy they are, how beautiful they look. And the truth is, like, Harry Styles, when I saw him in concert, I just was like,
you love him.
That is a confident man. That's a sexy guy. Like, that's a guy who like knows how to, like, I felt myself wanting to like have his energy. And I just admired that about him. Also, then I realized that I'm 98.5% sure that Harry Styles checked me out while I was running without a shirt off.
Where?
Outside of my house. Well, outside of my house, like in my neighborhood, I run, often. And I was running towards the end of my run, little, tired. So I wasn't,
Boob sweat. Yep.
Yeah, I was focused. And then I was, like someone pulled up to a stop sign as I'm running across the street. Right. So like they stop. And this person in this old school black Mercedes, like, I'm running, and they like, they looked at me, and I remembered, and it was like this like really handsome guy, and the person just, when someone looks at you, you look back, and I just kept running, and as I was running, I'm thinking, is that Harry Styles?
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, there's no way, but I was so like certain it might be Harry Styles that I DM'd him. But I just said,
did he write back? I love this so much.
I
said, a Keltie.
I said, hey man, like, I don't know if that was you that I just ran past, but big fan, And honestly, this was before I was a big fan. I really didn't know much about him. I had not seen him in concert at that point.
Oh my God.
And then he did not write back. I thought nothing of it. I thought it probably wasn't him, whatever.
Right.
And then I went to his concert, took my breath away, talked about how my breath was taken away on my podcast. And then I told this very story on my podcast. And I was more like, I'm 60% sure that I saw Harry Styles. Later that week, after I told the story on my podcast, Harry Styles was photographed in a old school, like 1960s black Mercedes. It was the exact same car. And I was like, it was definitely him. Like, I'm certain of it. Like, so, we had a moment.
That is amazing.
Ben, I heard Harry at least used to watch The Bachelor. I think when he was dating Kendall or something. I think
he definitely knows who you are. It's impossible
so, like,
not to know.
We locked eyes, and it was like, I know who you are. And so
you had a moment.
My dream guest is to have Harry Styles on an Ask Nick episode. I think he, obviously so much of his show and his audience, he's very empathetic. He's always having these moments with his audience to like, someone who like wants to like come out of the closet to their parents or something like that, or, break up with their boyfriend in the concert. He really connects with his women audience. I take great pride in the audience that I have that is, similar. And I think he would be really empathetic and probably give some solid relationship advice. And that would be a dream of mine, to just have him and I just like listen to people's stories and give some advice. But anyways, big Harry Styles fan.
Next, when you drop an ice cube on the ground, do you pick it up and put it in the sink, or do you kick it under the fridge?
I thought these were dating questions.
This is the last, and then there's a dating question.
Usually sink, but I've definitely kicked it under the fridge. Yeah.
Okay. How to be a great partner to someone who's really confident, independent, sure of yourself kind of person?
Well, listen, first thing is you got to believe that if someone is in a relationship with you, they want to be with you and they feel lucky to have you. So you just got to start seeing it that way,
It is like revolutionary.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. It's always been a big thing for me to feel just as lucky to have the person that I'm with and feel like they feel the same way about me, and to me, that's always been a baseline of we're both lucky. And I always want to feel like that kind of energy is mutual. But I think for anyone who's struggling with that, just know that they're dating you for a reason. And the worst thing you can do is question that, especially to them. I mean, if you start asking, like, you're so wonderful, why are you dating me? Trust me, they'll eventually start wondering themselves. So definitely don't ask them.
Well, you're like setting yourself up for like a power implug when
it's like, why am I dating you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
you're right. I'm better than you.
Yeah. Listen, we all up. We're like, plug in the book. There's a whole chapter called "Everyone's Annoying."
Wow.
Oh, I love
Isn't that
this.
true?
That is
like,
true.
We're all annoying, and true love comes down to like realizing your partner's annoying habits and choosing to love them still. And so and until you have that, you don't have anything. So you might as well just be annoying and see if they accept you, and then tell them that they're lucky to have you.
Your annoying self.
And just go from there.
Advice for people in a dating app rut.
Take a break. Yeah. I mean, listen, dating specifically, dating is exhausting, and dating is a means to an end. Like, it can be fun, but it's not always fun. Just like working out for some people can be fun. Working out can be a stress relief. It can be kind of some sort of like meditation thing that people do. But a lot of times we're just like, I don't work out, but I have to because I have this goal. Yeah. And very much dating and dating apps are very much the same way. So when you feel tired, take a break, sit it down. When you feel like, sometimes you want to get back out there. So you schedule maybe a handful of coffee dates or over a short period of time, which is great. Get out there. But then you start realizing like, I'm having the same conversation. I'm not present on these dates. And like, you're not going to be your best self. So take a break. I think it's important to remember, especially when you have a bad date, you go on and you realize that person was, not asking questions or, whatever, to just remember that like maybe they're also tired too. We've all been someone's bad date. You see, you go on TikTok and everyone like a new thing right now is it's calling out bad dates or whatever like that. And I see those TikToks and I think to myself, like you're someone's bad date too, lady, so it's
it's not all one-sided.
It's not all one-sided. And that's because, when we're going on dates, obviously our focus is to find our person and and so we're the star of that kind of moment. And it's our movie, and so to speak. And so when the person sitting beside you has the same nerves and the same, fatigue and things like that. So you just got to remember that they might be nervous too. Take it easy on yourself, take it easy on the person you're dating with. And when you get tired, take a break, delete the apps, go back on, it's okay if you feel tired, but taking a break is important, because just like working out, and it's a great analogy, if you work out too much, you don't get stronger, you don't get in better shape, you actually will break down your body and you will, decline rather than improve. So rest is just as important as exercise. When it comes to your physical health and when it comes to your dating health, rest is just as important as getting, shooting your shot.
Oh, love that.
I love this so much. I think we're going to wrap there. Nick is going to be live and bring over the wheel, Jack.
He has nothing to do with the wheel.
He might come out for the wheel part. We just want to show you the wheel.
Show me the wheel.
The wheel of secrets. I made this. I'm very proud of it. Jack doesn't want anything.
Well, no, it has nothing to do with Nick, but here's our wheel.
Okay.
And it's going to go. And then these are all different chapters in our book.
Am I going to be like your Vanna White?
No, I mean, you can if you want, but if it lands on Untold, then we have to tell a secret that we've never told anyone before.
Don't you find that to be a challenge?
I don't, because I do.
I'm like, I don't know what the I'm doing for mine.
I mean, like you're how many hundreds of podcast episodes in? If like you haven't said it already, like, are you sure you want people to know?
No, I don't. That's the whole point. It's the thing. Anyway, so Chicago, September 13th, which is literally, it is today, the 6th. And
next week.
Oh my God, next week you have 6 days to get your tickets. Chicago. It's going to be the best. It's opening night. Our bus is going to be parked out there. We have outfits.
How big of a crowd are we expecting?
It's pretty big, like hundreds of people.
Hundreds. Okay.
Hundreds of thousands of people.
It's basically a Harry Styles concert.
It's basically a Harry Styles concert.
Think of Harry Styles at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be the same. But Nick's going to be there. It's going to be an awesome time. Come out. The tickets are available on the LadyGang.com/tour. And every single ticket comes with a free signed copy of our book, Lady Secrets. So basically, the show is free if you're going to buy our book. So come to Chicago. It's going to be awesome. It's on the 13th. Nick, you can also, I know so many of you were like, I already listened to his podcast. You can check out all of Nick's podcasts, Viall Files and all the different versions of it 3 times a week, wherever you get your podcasts. He does a great show, and we're so excited about his book. Please support Nick. Don't text your ex happy birthday, something I've been guilty of in the past. It's available wherever you get your books, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast, and if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social at Keltie, at Becca, at Jac Vanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday.
Saddle up and get ready for Westerns Weeks on Pluto TV, all for free. We're coming in blazing with favorites like True Grit and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Or immerse yourself in binge-worthy series like Yellowstone and Walker, Texas Ranger. Plus, Pluto TV has hundreds of channels with thousands more movies, TV shows, and more. The best part? It's free. No credit card, no sign-up, no fees. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming now.